right, welcome to the Patriot Hour. I'm Michael, your host for 6/23/18. It's Saturday afternoon. Anon, Q clearance, breadcrumbs drops. Do we have anything new? Well, I know last night he posted that the Q&A session that was supposed to take place today has been rescheduled and on a later date, TBD, to be determined. So we're going to look at that, see if there's anything else since then. I'm not sure. Like I said, I just got back. I haven't even looked yet. So we're going to look into that together and a few other things I wanted to go over. So again, stick around and we'll get right into it.
You know what letter that is, Roman?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
In front of...
All right. Welcome to the Patriot Hour. If you're new, just stopping by, just joining us, thank you. We highly appreciate it. A lot of love for the channel, all the subscribers, all the people that participate, watch, supporters. You don't even know. All your sharing, all your subscribing, all your likes. It's been real great. And bigger than that is the collective thought. Bigger than that is just the collective group. Helping, looking, talking, pointing each other into directions, and learning the truth, spreading the truth, and helping truth, the light, be shined for everybody to see. We've been in a world of a lot of lies and a lot of darkness for a long, long time. Is it true? Trump is just taking it down. I have always thought, high military intelligence chose Trump, and of course you would have probably a higher power behind all of that, right? Like God's hand helping and guiding, because when it comes down to this big of evil, it's going to take help of that kind of sorts, folks. Can't just be thinking that it's a man taking down this huge amount of evil that exists. So, all right, we're going to get into this here. Again, if you're new, please subscribe. Toggle that switch to get the alerts so you can, be alerted the minute something was to come out. Okay, let me... take a look at this here. I had just redone my machine, so I don't have anything. Lined up. So I apologize for that. All right, so we had Q&A rescheduled, forthcoming. Q, that was 1587 in the series, 1587, and that came yesterday at 5:10, 17:10 Eastern Standard, which would be 15:10. So that was the last one. Other than that, we've covered them. So I'm not sure, why would somebody have to reschedule anything? You come to your own conclusions on that. It's not really the reason why. We don't know. We can sit here and speculate all day. I didn't mean, it's not important why, or, it was important to us to get the Q&A time, but at a later date soon, I would imagine we will. So rest easy. Rest easy on that, folks. All right, we're going to take a look here into the Donald J. Trump official Twitter account. All right, how do I get that out of here? I don't care. There. All right, so we have happy birthday to Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, a friend and a great man. I'm going to go backwards here as we read from the newest to the oldest. It's very sad that Nancy Pelosi and her sidekick, crying Chuck Schumer, want to protect illegal immigrants far more than the citizens of this country, our country. The United States cannot stand for this. We want safety and security at our borders. All right, folks, that's true because these people take the oath when they take these positions, all right? Similar to us in the military, those of us that have served, those currently in, people that do anything up in D.C. in the government. You're taking an oath to the people. Your paychecks are from the people. Tax dollars driven, pays paychecks. They're there to support us. They're there to be our leaders. So when you have a group of politicians screaming for another group that our Constitution doesn't apply to, and I'm not trying to say this to be inhumane, it's just what's on the books. There has to be a black and white. There is this huge thing going on where there's stuff written, people take oaths, their oath, and then they want to sit there and talk once you vote them in about how you're dumb, you're inhumane, this is the way it's got to be. And it's like they're using their power to tell you what's best for you, when we put them up there to represent us, not to get up there and then to point at us and tell us how we're wrong. You don't need your guns and you're not an American, this blah 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 blah. It gets really, really funny. So if they would just stick by the rules on the books, there wouldn't be as much of an issue. If you don't like the rules on the books, lobby to change them. And that, again, should come from the bottom up. That would be the people. These guys are supposed to just be there to represent us. It's a messed up system. We know it. They know it, and they're taking advantage of it. All right, heading to Nevada to talk trade and immigration with supporters. Country's economy is stronger than ever before, with the numbers that are getting better by the week. Tremendous potential, and trade deals are coming along well. 4 hours ago, my thoughts and prayers are with Representative Katie Arrington of South Carolina, including all of those involved in last night's car accident and their families. All right, here we go. Earlier today, 5:52 a.m., Drudge Report. Obama kept them in the cages, wrapped them in foil. We do a much better job while at the same time maintaining a much stronger border. Mainstream fake media hates this story. All right, so there we go. We read a few of the Donald J. Trump tweets. I wanted to look up anything here that we can talk about for a minute or two. Touch some base on it. So Sarah Sanders says she was thrown out of Virginia restaurant because she works for Trump. TMZ reported that she was kicked out of a restaurant, the Red Hen in Lexington, Virginia, on moral grounds. Let's look at this. Now, think about this, folks. How about the, we've had some social issues of bakers not wanting to bake cakes. These people lose time and time again for not even wanting to service, somebody that they don't agree with. So here's this, solely based on possibly that she works for Trump. No, you get out of here. That's like somebody coming in with a Trump shirt on. And of course, that's what's scary about it. They can kick you out. Maybe they're sitting in the kitchen seeing you, and then they're messing with your food. This is nuts. White House Press Secretary Sanders was thrown out of a Virginia restaurant on Friday because she works for President Trump, the latest Trump official to be hounded out of a restaurant because of their political affiliation. TMZ reported that she was kicked out of the restaurant, the Red Hen in Lexington, Virginia, on moral grounds, and cited a waiter who said that Sanders was served for a total of 2 minutes before my owner kicked her out along with 7 of her other family members. Sanders confirmed the events on Twitter, saying she was told to leave by the owner because she worked for the president. Her actions say far more about her than about me, she said. I will always do my best to treat people, including those I disagree with, respectfully, and will continue to do so. That's what's going on in this country. Instead of just debating with people and people saying that, you're a human, but I don't like your idea, they end up saying, I don't like you. It's just this, you got bad ideas, man. And they just end up going directly to this, you're a bad human. And it's not that you just have maybe bad ideas or you disagree on ideas. They take it to that next extreme. So Sarah Sanders, actually, last night I was told by the owner of the Red Hen in Lexington, Virginia, to leave because I work for the POTUS, and I politely left. Her actions say far more about her than about me. I always do my best to treat people, including those I disagree with, respectfully, and will continue to do so. After initial reports emerged on the incidents, users took to the Red Hen's Facebook and Yelp pages to bombard it with one-star reviews. Everyone should boycott this restaurant, put them out of business. Asking a paying patron to leave because she's a Republican is repulsive, one Yelp review said. While the new reviews were overwhelmingly negative, the restaurant did get some backing from Trump opponents, with one saying the Red Hen's decision was truly awesome. If some can refuse service to gays, then yes, others can for immorally lying to American people through White House press conferences, a 5-star review said on Facebook. Sanders also got backing from her father, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, who blasted the restaurant's bigotry on the menu at the Red Hen restaurant in Lexington, Virginia. Or you can ask for the hate plate, and appetizers are small plates for small minds, he tweeted. That is awesome. The Red Hen, good morning at Press Sec, went to the unaffiliated at Red Hen Lex last night, not to the DC-based restaurant. Not to our DC-based restaurant. So, there you go on that one. That is, like I said, what's the standard here? You can be kicked out for your political, but you can't not do a cake for this person or that group. That's all we're asking for is consistency. Whatever the fine line is. There was people actually taking people to court. This same left group, now they're on there cheering. Like, well, hey, if you can't do this, great, Make sense of it. You guys are fighting to have the owners make you the cakes or the cater your weddings. I know that went, most of the cases have gone in their favors. Like, you can't do that. You have to bake them the cake. So, and then now here they do something just based on not even, just somebody coming in to pay. And sit there, a paying patron at a restaurant. So they're unbelievable. A woman was detained for 2 weeks after accidentally crossing the Canadian border while jogging. A jogger who says she inadvertently crossed the Canadian border while running was reportedly detained by U.S. authorities for about 2 weeks. Cadell Roman, a 19-year-old French woman, was visiting her mother in White Rock, British Columbia. She said she accidentally ran across the Canadian border into Blaine, Washington on May 21st. Roman claimed she did not see any sign marking the border and told CBC she did not know her beachside run had taken her into the U.S. until she was stopped by U.S. Customs and Border Protection. I said to myself, well, I may have crossed the border, but they'll probably only give me a fine or tell me to go back to Canada, or they'll give me a warning. Instead, CBP took Roman, who did not have any documentation with her during the jog, into custody and transferred her to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Tacoma Northeast Detention Center, where she remained for about 2 weeks. Roman was released on June 6 after her mother, Kristen Fernie, provided immigration officials with her daughter's paperwork, and authorities in both the U.S. and Canada determined that the jogger could return to Canada. All right. Do we remember the Marine that accidentally crossed the Mexican border? Now, he had a gun in his car, but still, I don't know if he drove and crossed it at an actual spot, but then he was detained. I don't know, like, I don't think Obama could do much, or let me see if I can find that. Marine. All right, let's look at this one. Ex-U.S. Marine jailed in Mexico says he didn't mean to cross the border. So what about this? Tijuana, a Marine veteran jailed in Mexico on weapons charges for allegedly bringing guns across the border, said he never intended to leave the country but missed an exit when heading to meet friends in a bordering town. Sergeant Andrew Tamorasi, 25, said he was headed to dinner in San Ysidro on March 31st when he mistakenly wound up at a border crossing point in Tijuana. This story is from 14, all right, May of 14. So yeah, I do remember it was a couple years ago. He said Mexican authorities found 3 guns inside of his truck that he had recently driven from Florida to make a new start in San Diego. He was jailed and is now being held in Tijuana La Mesa Penitentiary without bail. Republican Rep. Duncan Hunter last week wrote a letter asking Secretary of State John Kerry to secure Taramosa's release. State Department officials said they were aware of an arrest of a U.S. citizen in Mexico, but they do not comment on arrest of private individuals without the person's permission. Similar cases have occurred before. In 2008, an active duty Army soldier was jailed in Ciudad Juarez, across from El Paso, Texas, for driving into Mexico with guns, knives, and ammunition. In 1999, a Marine was detained in Tijuana for 2 weeks after driving into Mexico with guns. So if Tamarso is convicted, he faces 6 to 21 years in a Mexican prison. So there we go, folks. Again, consistency doesn't seem to reside. Mexico pushes their people out, and actually welcomes it. And if we do it to them, oh my gosh, get them in jail, lock them up 21 years, possibly. What about his separation? What about their separation? I don't want to hear the excuses either. Well, he did it on purpose. He's dumb. I mean, that's what you hear. It's just getting real out of hand. Time magazine, how about that one? Their photo coming out for July is an all red cover with a little young immigrant girl, toddler, and then you have Trump kind of looking down, and it's all about separation. But the family of that little girl came out and said, "Oh, we never were separated. We've remained together the whole time." So that was a false lie. They didn't even have a real photo to use. They just took one and made up stories around it. That's typical of Time. They're trash. They're a failing company that is not going to make it much longer. A lot of these lying groups, newspapers, the entertainment industry, they try to pretend to be news. They're just not going to make it through the cut. All right. So again, in the news was Melania's jacket she wore that said, "I really don't care, do you?" written on the back of her jacket refers to fake news media. How do we know that? Because that's what they said. Anything else would just be speculation, like most other things from the media. We're going to go around taking people's words all the time. You look at some of these people, and that's what they want to tell you. And then you got to take other people's words. You can't. No, that's not true. I think this. Well, he just told you what it's about. We have to do that all the time, unfortunately. Yeah, some people are liars, and that is prevalent all around us. All right, we're at the 20-minute mark. I'm going to cut this one off. I just wanted to give you guys an update video. It looks like no new Q Anon, Q clearance. I wasn't expecting anything. Like I said, for the last couple days, we kept talking about the 23rd Q&A time. That's been rescheduled. So once we find that out, once we get a new drop, we will do the same. We will pass that. I'll pass it on to you. And on that date, I'll try to be here to go, bring it out as quick as possible. Maybe go live. Who knows? Okay, I'm Michael. This is a Patriot Hour update video for you. We appreciate you stopping by. If you are new, thanks for joining us. Please drop a comment, give us a thumbs up, share across your social media platforms, and we will see you back here real soon. God bless, Godspeed, and have a great afternoon into your evening. And again, we'll see you back here real soon. Have a good one.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This
Yeah.
is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.